The Conjuring movie shows a terrifying séance scene. But what if I told you? What really happened that night was so disturbing Hollywood was forced to tone it down. This is the true story of the Perron family, Ed and Lorraine Warren, and the séance that should never have happened. In 1971, the Perron family moved into a quiet farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island. The house was old, isolated and surrounded by land where multiple deaths had occurred. From the very first week, strange things began happening. Doors slammed shut on their own. The smell of rotting flesh filled the rooms at night. And every morning, the family woke up with bruises on their bodies. But one presence was different. A dark, hateful entity that seemed especially attached to Carolyn Perron, the mother. Local records spoke of a woman named Bathsheba Sherman. She once lived on this land in the 1800s. Villagers accused her of sacrificing her own child to Satan. Though the charges were never proven, her reputation never faded. People claimed that when Bathsheba died, she cursed the land. If she couldn't have it, no mother ever would. The family gathered in the living room. Lights dimmed. Hands joined. The air suddenly grew cold. Lorraine began the séance, asking whatever was present to identify itself. At first, silence. Then, Carolyn's breathing changed. Her hands clenched tightly. Her head slowly tilted back. And then, she screamed. Carolyn was lifted off her chair. Not gently, violently. Her body slammed into the air and was thrown across the room. Witnesses said her body bent in ways that made no sense. Her eyes rolled back. Her voice changed. It was no longer her voice. It spoke in a deep, distorted language no one recognized. And then, she smiled. Not a human smile. Suddenly, Lorraine began screaming. She stared behind Carolyn, her face frozen in pure terror. Ed begged her to look away, but Lorraine whispered, "It's standing behind her. Something tall, dark, twisted. Not a spirit, not human." Lorraine later said she felt its hatred enter her soul. The séance was stopped immediately. Carolyn collapsed unconscious. The house fell silent. Lorraine was traumatized. She refused to ever perform another séance there. The Warrens warned the parents, "This entity feeds on fear, and it will never stop." Soon after, the Warrens left the case entirely, something they almost never did. Some doors were never meant to be opened, and what Lorraine saw that night followed her for the rest of her life. The Conjuring showed a movie. This was the truth. Subscribe for true horror stories Hollywood won't show.